In the year 1856, in the heart of Virginia, a baby boy was born into slavery. He had no last name, no freedom, no hope. The world said he would amount to nothing. But this boy would rise from the ashes of bondage to become one of the most powerful voices in American history. This is not just a story of one man's success. This is the story of how Booker T. Washington transformed pain into purpose and built a legacy that shaped a nation. Booker was born into slavery in Hales Ford, Virginia. His earliest memories were of the dirt floor cabin he lived in, hunger that gnawed at his stomach, and the overseer's whip that cracked through the air. He didn't know his father, and his mother, Jane, worked endlessly just to keep her children alive. Freedom came when he was 9 years old. But freedom brought no wealth, no home, no education. Booker carried 100-pound sacks in salt furnaces and shoveled coal in dimly lit mines. But through it all, one dream burned bright: to learn how to read. When he heard about a school for black children, he walked miles just to sit in a classroom. That hunger for knowledge became his compass. At 16, Booker heard about the Hampton Institute, a school hundreds of miles away in Virginia that could change his life. With almost no money, he walked most of the journey, slept under sidewalks, and worked odd jobs just to keep going. When he arrived, exhausted and filthy, a teacher gave him a simple test: sweep a classroom. He cleaned that room so perfectly that he earned admission. That moment changed the trajectory of his life forever. Booker graduated with honors and believed education was the key to lifting his people out of poverty. In 1881, at only 25 years old, he was invited to lead a new school in Tuskegee, Alabama. Tuskegee Institute started in a rundown shed, with no desks, no books, and barely any funds. But Booker had a vision: to teach not just academics, but skills carpentry, farming, bricklaying that would give African Americans economic independence. He and his students built the school with their own hands, brick by brick, creating a place of pride and opportunity. In 1895, Washington delivered his famous Atlanta Compromise speech, urging black Americans to focus on education and economic growth rather than immediate political power. His message made him a hero to some and controversial to others. W.E.B. Du Bois and other civil rights leaders argued that Washington's stance was too accommodating to segregation. But Washington believed in building strength quietly so that one day equality could not be denied. His influence grew so powerful that he became the first African American to be invited to dine at the White House with President Theodore Roosevelt, a moment that shocked the nation. What many didn't know was that Washington worked behind the scenes to challenge racism. He secretly funded lawsuits to fight segregation and supported young black lawyers who would one day lead the civil rights movement. Through Tuskegee, Washington created generations of leaders, teachers, and scientists like George Washington Carver, whose groundbreaking agricultural work transformed American farming. By the time of his death in 1915, Booker T. Washington had become one of the most respected figures in America. He was born a slave and died as an advisor to presidents, a best-selling author, and a builder of one of the most prestigious historically black universities in the world. Success is to be measured not so much by the position one has reached in life as by the obstacles which he has overcome. Booker T. Washington's story reminds us that greatness is not born. It is forged in struggle. His life was proof that education is the most powerful weapon for change, and that even a boy born in chains can rise to change a nation.